Windows XP needs no introduction. Released in 2001, Windows XP became the most iconic and revered version of Windows alongside Windows 7. Microsoft officially stopped supporting Windows XP on April 7, 2014, and has since dropped to about 1/3% of Windows market share. Over the years, Windows XP has continued to foster a fan base on the internet, mainly fueled by nostalgia for the old internet. So the question remains, can you still use Windows XP over 10 years after its support was officially ended? This video will be different to my usual OS videos, as most modern programs are too new to run on Windows XP in any way. Firstly, let's begin with web browsers. Solely going off of the official support, there are no current browsers that still support Windows XP. Chrome stopped supporting Windows XP with Chrome 49, which came out in 2016, and Firefox stopped supporting Windows XP with Firefox 52.9 ESR, which came out in 2018. Despite this, browsing the web is still entirely possible on these older browsers, as I've been able to get numerous websites to still work on these older versions. If you really want to get a browser on XP, I recommend using something like Supermium or one of the various browser workarounds that exist for Windows XP. Communication paired with your browser on XP can actually be possible, as using your workaround to get a new browser on Windows XP, you can get plenty of communication websites to work. Now, if you really want to go retro, you can use AOL or Windows Live Messenger on Windows XP, as there are many online communities that have come together to create their own servers and get the programs working again. Discord can actually be used on Windows XP, as people have made a program that allows you to not only use Discord on Windows XP, but it basically has a lot of the modern functionality. There's a lot of different clients that you can use. Personally, I haven't been able to test any of these because I haven't been able to get them to work, but I have seen plenty of people who have been, and the experience looks pretty good. Windows XP is great for retro gaming, as many popular titles from the late 90s and 2000s have native support for Windows XP. XP is also great for DOS gaming. Although I heard Windows 98 SE is better for DOS gaming, Windows XP will still work. And of course, browser games will work as well, depending on which browser you use and how new it is. Don't expect anything newer than like 2009 to work on Windows XP, or even maybe newer than that. Adobe and Microsoft Office apps both exist for Windows XP, luckily. However, some of them look entirely different to their modern counterparts. When it comes to Microsoft Office, Windows XP supports up to Office 2007, which doesn't look very different from the modern versions of Office, so you can very easily switch to the older versions and not have any issue. However, when it comes to Adobe, Windows XP only supports up to CS6, which CS6 is pretty different from the newer versions of Adobe, especially going through 2019 through 2024. So if you're going to be going to that, expect quite a bit of a learning curve to learn where all the old layout and stuff is, and just features that weren't in these versions. The music scene has changed a lot since Windows XP lost support. So many of the apps that you currently use will not work on XP. However, using apps from the era like iTunes 12.2, Winamp, and others will work just fine. Windows XP came out in 2001, meaning it's most known for being part of the Y2K era of design and is very user customizable, unlike modern versions of Windows. Many themes came out that allow for you to make Windows XP truly yours, as well as the default Windows XP theme being very nostalgic for many who grew up with it. Some at the time did criticize the default XP theme for being too childish, but has since transcended popularity and nostalgia similar to Windows 95 and Windows 7. Windows XP, in terms of layout, is also pretty different from OS's after Vista, as Vista kept lots of XP's layouts but modernized them, which was then changed in Windows 7, with a layout that we keep to this day, just with new coats of paint. That's it for what I have to say about Windows XP. As you can see, there's not much you can really do with XP, and there's no reason to keep it around unless you are a retro gamer or you just like the look of it. If you use Windows XP on your main machine and you're under the age of 70, you've got some serious guts. Thanks for watching.